Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And today we are going to be talking about the massive ban wave that happened yesterday from using mobile emulators. Now, on February 21st, Kabam put out a post saying, do not use third-party software or emulators. It will, probably get you banned, essentially. Now, for those of you who don't know what an emulator is, basically an emulator lets you play I can't speak, a mobile game on a device that it is not necessarily designed for, such as a PC or a Switch. Now, there are programs that will emulate a mobile OS such as Android and allow you to download mobile apps and games. Now, this is looked down on because they can give you an unfair advantage and allow you to play the game with controllers or make it easier to mod the game. So there have been a ton of posts about this, and we'll get into that in a minute. But there are some games out there like PUBG Mobile and Call of Duty Modern Warfare that allow players to use these emulators, and that's because they have players using emulators facing each other and players just using mobile facing each other. The two never intersect. Now, the I have been banned messages are everywhere. They're all over the forums. I mean, they're just everywhere. Now, of course, we have the huge I didn't do anything crowd coming out and saying they were unfairly banned, but for the most part, this wave seems to be emulator focused. I have seen some players admit that they used these programs over a year ago and now they are being banned, and some say that they were actually in the middle of using them, were forced logged out, and then got the ban message when they tried to log back in. Now, most of the bans that I have seen are temporary bans for about a week, but as we all know, with Kabam, temporary bans can convert into permabans. So I'm not sure how severe Kabam perceives these infractions. Okay, and then I've also seen some complaining about the timing of the bans. So, like I've heard gripes from players that have had alliance members banned in the middle of AQ, essentially screwing over the entire alliance. Some believe that these bans should, go out after the weekly AQ is over, or at least towards the end of the daily cycle. There is really, if you think about it, no optimal time for an alliance member to just become unavailable. But I do think in the middle of AQ, especially if you're running map 6 or 7, can be a bit of a detriment to the alliance. Now, honestly, when these ban waves go out, I really doubt Kabam even considers the timing. Maybe they do, I could be wrong. Who knows? I think they get a new toy really, and they're just ready to launch it ASAP. Even though I do think that violating the terms of service does deserve a ban, I do. So don't get me wrong on that. I can actually feel sympathy for the honest players that get screwed over by this. Now, I know that people will say the whole alliance has to suffer if they know they have a cheater in their midst, right? There are always people out there that are going to say that. But a player using an emulator is not something that other players can really identify as easily as a teammate using a mod. I mean, think about it. If you have a teammate who's just crushing content with no health loss and mismatched champs, you damn well know that they are modding, and if you decide to keep them in your alliance, then everyone in that alliance should suffer. But in this instance, I have to feel a little bit of sympathy for the alliance. All right, now another thing I have heard from some banned accounts is that they did not know that using an emulator would get them banned. Now, some say they used it because their phone broke or they get, better, smoother play over their older phone model. Now, I can see this being the case for some because, we don't really talk about emulators and how they are against the terms of service, such as like modding or piloting, right? We always talks about when it comes to cheating mechanisms like this, we always hear that, it's always piloting and modding, that sort of thing, but we rarely ever talk about emulators. And also, who reads the terms of service? And it can be kind of confusing too, right? Because like I said earlier, some mobile games like PUBG, they allow them. So I can see newer players who maybe play PUBG on an emulator and then start picking this up are, a little bit ignorant to them and how that could result in them being banned. Honestly, I had even forgotten about them being a violation because I forgot they were an issue because they're just kind of like, bloop. Now, I hope this latest ban wave, though, does prove what the devs said in Dorky Diggity Dave's video. Kabam is taking cheating and terms of service violations more seriously and are on the lookout for it. I know some people will say that Kabam is not serious about this and, you know, all the cheating will resume next week, but we also thought that, you know, when they said they were going to stop all the chargeback fraud, and they pretty much clamped down on that. So only time will tell. But, you know, what do you guys think? Do you feel like ban waves should be timed better? Do you feel like the use of emulators should not be a bannable offense or, you know, a permanent one? Or are in the, yo, you got caught, tough crap on you and your alliance, homie? Anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Let me know and let's discuss. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.